you had issues at Dover, which were always highlighted in the various newspapers in 2012, 13, 15, 16. We've got all the pictures of the newspapers. Look, the reality is, it was at Dover because...
I saw your tweet, Richard. Now, you're being a little bit misleading there, because you were talking about situations which cause chaos at the border, caused by things like strikes.
Yeah.
Richard,
so
it wasn't that they didn't
Marina,
turn
why
up.
weren't the queues at Southampton? Why weren't the queues at Portsmouth? Why weren't the
queues
at
are
Harwich
spreading now.
or Felix?
So Dover, they're trying to get under control now.
Folkestone is the Eurotunnel.
Folkestone is about to be the next Dover.
So lots of people we want tighter borders, less people coming into our country. You know, Britain for Britons and all that. You're not realising that when you're going on holiday, you're now potentially going to need a visa. You're now potentially going to be
you don't need a visa to go to the EU.
No, I said potentially. And you're going to be in hefty queues when you want to return to the country. You know, there'll be nobody in that EU passport
so
queue.
There's no queues
and now
at
there's
Southampton.
the other passport queue, and you're going to be in that one. Simple things that people didn't think about. People that were living abroad in places like Spain and France, all of a sudden, they can't just live there now. You know, you have to come back home or get a visa or apply to stay there. These are the simple things that when we have that bonfire, so to speak, when all those, if Liz Truss becomes PM and she gets rid of all those rights into 2023, these are little things that people haven't considered that are going to make their lives more difficult. But at the end of the day, you voted for them. So
let's quickly deal with the Dover thing, okay? Right? You had issues at Dover which were always highlighted in the various newspapers in 2012, 13, 15, 16. We've got all the pictures of the newspapers. Look, the reality is, it was at Dover because...
I saw your tweet, Richard. Now, you're being a little bit misleading there, because you were talking about situations which cause chaos at the border, caused by things like strikes.
Yeah. And this is caused by French border force not turning up for work.
No,
there were 10 booths
wasn't they didn't
only
turn
4
up.
rocked up.
Richard,
so why
it wasn't
weren't the
that they
queues,
didn't
Marina,
turn
why
up.
weren't the queues at Southampton? Why weren't the queues at Portsmouth? Why weren't the
queues are
at Harwich
spreading now
or Felixstowe?
because the ports that we're talking about, Dover, and the other one is, what's the other one? Folkestone is now. So Dover, they're trying to get under control now.
Folkestone's the Eurotunnel.
Folkestone is about to be the next Dover. So they are the more heavily populated in terms of holiday makers and the fact that it's like school holidays.
And
it's always a bottleneck. It's always busy. It's always busy, and it was busy before Brexit, and it's busy after Brexit. But if the people don't turn up for work, and they built extra passport booths,
that's not accurate.
It is true. They built 10 passport booths, right? And they had agreed working plans between the respective border force people, and they didn't show up for work. It's as simple as that.
Where have you got this from?
Where have I got this from?
Who's your pal at Border Force?
Well, funnily enough, I've been reading the newspapers and I've been speaking to people.
Which ones?
I spoke, for example, yesterday, just a couple of days ago, I spoke to someone from the port agency who clarified all of this information for me. So the information is there. There's no doubt at all. Everyone accepts that people didn't rock up for work, and that's the reality. And you've got to remember also that the Le Touquet agreement means that at Dover, the French border force are this side of the channel, whereas in all the other ports, they're not. They're on the French side.
OK, so in 2020, the French government foresaw these issues because of our departure from the EU. They actually said to our government, they wanted 33 million to fund the extra checks. And there are extra checks, right? So it used to be everyone's just waved through, and now they have the checking of passports. There's a
borders. I want to know who's coming in and who's going out.
We need to make sure... There's a lot of checking. There's also we have to check that they are not outstaying there 90 days within 880 for and if you've got a car full of people, that's 4 people's passports. You've also got articulated lorries, you've got ferries, this isn't just like any other port.
And there was a lorry driver on the radio this morning that goes across every week and has done for the last 18 months, who confirmed that it had not been an issue until this weekend at any time in the last 18 months.
So what's going on at Kent?
So what's going on is that it's a busy period and the blokes didn't rock up. And that point about the 2020, when they asked for more booths, they got more booths. They built more booths. There were 10 booths as opposed to what there were 5 or 6 beforehand. So it has happened that folks didn't rock up. And you've got the chaos that ensued.
Right. And what I do wonder about how that impacts the lorry queue as well, the Kent car park. Let us know in the comments below, and let us know what you'd like to see on the table next week by becoming a member at Byline TV Plus and getting involved. Just go to byline.tv/join to become a member and get access to loads of exclusive perks, like the ability to decide topics for the table, live Q&As, and extended and behind the scenes content. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.